AgTech 360 discusses breakthrough technologies that are impacting growers, businesses, and consumers. Hear from industry and academic experts about what's on the horizon.
So, welcome to AgTech 360. Today I'm joined by YJ Son, who is Chief Product and Technology Officer at Kioti. This is a company creating smart farming innovations that support growers across a wide range of crops and production systems across the world. From robotics and AI to their new autonomous transport robot for orchard operations, these technologies are reshaping how farms operate. YJ, welcome. I'm so excited to discuss some of these new technology trends with you.
Hi, thanks for having me here. It's a great honor for me to join this good talking AgTech 360 today.
Actually, well, it's wonderful to have you. So let's dive in and let's talk a little bit about you first. So you have, I know, a long career in the AgTech space. Mm-hmm. Can you start by sharing a little bit about your background and what led you to pursue a career in AgTech?
Yes, actually, my career started with the automotive industry. So I started with the Hyundai Motor Company, subsidiary company. So there I started with the engine, small gasoline engine, and then diesel engine, and also the powertrains. That's how my career started. And then after several years at Hyundai, I started working in Caterpillar, where I continued to work on engine-related product. And then there are many internal customers who create some machines for construction, also agricultures. So at that time, I learned about agriculture businesses. It's a little bit different with automotive industry. One thing I have to confess today is my internal customers are really huge. So my smallest machine has a 250 horsepower engine. And then now when I joined Kioti, biggest machine is a 150 horsepower. So a little bit different dynamics here, but then still, I think there's lots of things I can contribute in agriculture industry.
Great. So that's what drew you to Kioti. So let's talk a little bit about them. And I mean, how are they trying to stay in front of, and how are you helping them to stay in front of the ag innovation movement?
When I joined Kioti, and the Kioti has been number one tractor company in South Korea since 1948. So they have a really good diesel engine lineup, and also they have a pretty solid tractor lineups. And then they want to expand their businesses, not only traditional tractor businesses, but also new platform technology, and then new AI, autonomous driving, and connected services. And then they contact me that, hey, YJ, have you had experience with the aftermarket using connected services, some autonomous driving? So I said, yeah, I know what they're doing, but I'm not a part of that directly, but I support them from different angle. So they say, if you have some experience working with them, why don't you join this company to give my experience into them? So I joined it here, even though in Kioti, in U.S. Operation, we don't have any R&D. Still, all the research and development happen in South Korea, R&D center. I work with them closely to provide input, what I had experience in Caterpillar or John Deere. John Deere is our competitor, by the way. So I knew what
I think we've heard of John Deere, so yes.
Right. So that's how I provide Kioti. And then I was surprised that Kioti invests a lot of resources on these smart farming since 2020, 2019. So since then, Kioti invests lots of resources in smart farming, including autonomous driving tractors, autonomous robot, transport robot or sprayer robot, and also smart farming, meaning that they develop some incubator to control everything to raise some specific crops. So and also they own their own farming in South Korea to try different technologies.
Yeah. So you act essentially as a kind of conduit or window person for the US market to your colleagues back in South Korea. Mm-hmm. And I guess what's interesting about Kioti, one of the things is the fact that you do have, as you said, generally smaller machines than some of your competitors. And I guess that is also reflective of the farming practices in South Korea and how the farms look and the size of them.
Exactly. So one of the reasons they are asking to contribute in Kioti businesses. So John Deere and Caterpillar, same thing. So they have all the good technology about connected services, smart farming or smart construction or whatever. But then they only apply those technology for big farmers. meaning that big farmers they're really focused on efficiency and then making money profit, so they're willing to invest additional cost. But then for smaller farmers, so think about it, if you just bought a tractor about $30,000, but then to add this new technology, will you pay additional $10,000, which is almost 30%. But then if you have to pay $2 million for your farm, then can you add 200K more? Yes, you're willing to do that if you can get more than 15% return. So that's a big difference. So Coyote wants to know and then ask me to help them to find a way to have to expand this technology, smart farming, to smaller machine and the smaller farmers. That was my goal to help this company.
And so what are some of the challenges that the farmers are facing that you're trying to help them with?
Right. So in Korea, the main problem in the farm is older farmers getting older and older. And the young people does not come into the farmland. So meaning that a good side is that one farmer has a more land, more farm compared to before, but then they have less and less laborers. So they need some help from machines more and more. And then in USI, a similar thing happened. So when I work with the several industry in here, so some farmers still wants to use a traditional way. They want to hire several more people. But then some farmers have lots of issue with the laborers, and then some young farmers doesn't like the way that traditionally they did labor intense. So in those farmers try to look for different alternative ways. So they want to know what kind of technology they can use, what kind of machine or what kind of platform they can use to improve their efficiency. So there is a market I believe we can start our business in there.
Yeah, I mean, we hear all the time from our farmers that we interact with, labor is one, if not the biggest issue. And as you said, as farms have consolidated over the years and got bigger and bigger in general, the need for automation becomes even more important.
Right.
So, let's talk a little bit about the robots and the technology.
Yep.
What are these autonomous robots able to do right now, and maybe thinking in the future, what do you feel that you will be offering, in 5-10 years?
Right. So you can think this RT bag or our transportation robot as a new dog, for example. So we can have a leash, or we can have a automatic something like automatic follower or whatever. So if you have a vest, and then which has lots of sensor and everything, then you can just walk and your robot will follow you. And then when you use your finger, and then there's a robot arm came out to harvest some apples or whatever, cherries, and then put it back. And then the transportation robot senses how many in there, and it's fill up, then it automatically go back to the storage, and then unload everything and came back, just follow you again. So that was our initial test was done months ago. So before we used last year we had a string, a leash for that, and then this year, even though it's a confined area, but then we just make 100% automatic. So this robot can follow the farmers. The farmers talk to the machine that, hey, go back to storage, and then call Android to help me. And then robot went back to unload everything, and then bring you back and something like that. So those we just tested last month, and it was successful.
Wow. So this isn't something in 10 years. This is something you're actually testing now.
Now.
And these robots, these are, what do they look like? Can you describe them a little bit?
It's you can imagine 4 wheels, but then it's about a kind of big box. So you can imagine your child, has if you look for an old John Deere thing, and then there's a tractor, a toy tractor, and then there's I don't know what you call that, something, somebody sitting in it a trailer type of thing. So it's looks like trailer, big box. Okay. Because inside there's a batteries and kind of sensors, everything with the 4 wheels. And the top, you can choose multiple variant options. You can have with the rooftop, or we can have open top, whatever you can design, then you can have all those. And then what we try to do is that we think that likely farm is already known area for farmers. Farmers know all the corners of their farm. So if they set up kind of at left corner or top corner, whatever they define the name of any position or storage or like second storage or whatever, then you can train your robot.
The North Carolina Plant Sciences Initiative impacts lives through innovative applications and discoveries. By leveraging cutting-edge research and technology, we address global challenges related to agriculture, sustainability, and human health.
Are you at the point yet where you can use these machines to harvest? And if you are, I mean, how do they identify which fruit, which vegetable to harvest, and how do you avoid damage? So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, that's a kind of difficult part for us, to be honest with you. So we tested this harvesting for crops like corns and stuff, kind of relatively easier. But the orchard is really difficult because so many different varieties like apple, cherries, like peaches, strawberries, all kinds of different. So right now we are really early stages for that. So why I say early stages, because like we have like a rubber arm attached with this transportation robot, then there's a sensor, then by imaging, then analyzing, they can differentiate what kind of fruit in there. And then they determine how they can approach and harvest. But then why I say it's too early, because it's too long to calculate that. So we can do it, but then think about it, that this robot can harvest maybe 1 apple per hour. There's no use. So we are at that stage right now. It's workable, but it's too slow.
And are there any other smart farm solutions that you're working on as a company that you could share with us?
Yeah, so we have I don't know exact name. I don't think we just like put a name in, but there's like smart plant grower. It's already a couple of companies, including us, put in the market. The meaning that you can even like a refrigerator with the glass in front. And then it will control humidity and all kinds of stuff, so that, for example, some special growth, mainly we think that the drug market, so some people need some special plant for their, in terms of their drug. It's not drug anything.
Pharmaceutical production.
Yeah, pharmaceutical plant. So those things, for example, we can grow that within the smart grower, within the inside our home. So I need that maybe once a week or whatever. So I need like 3 root per week, something like that. Then that one regular refrigerator can harvest that every week. Then it'll be pretty good instead of they have to going outside to buy it.
Wow. Okay. So this will be so this is like a very smart growth chamber.
Yes.
Where you could produce pharmaceuticals from that you need.
Yes.
From a plant, and if I understand what you're saying, that the size of the growth chamber is enough that you could grow your needed medicine for that period of time. Right. Wow.
Yeah, this is not big enough for the broccoli, for example. So we just consume broccoli too much, so it's not good for that. But then if there's something kind of especially, like you said, a pharmaceutical plant, so we just need, as I said, small amount per week or per day, then this one can be used to your personal, pharmaceutical plant provider.
Or I guess herbs or whatever you want to.
Yes.
Something that was, high value and maybe hard to get hold of. Tell me, as you look forward then, I mean, we've already talked about moving to automated harvesting in the future, but are there other things that you feel are challenges that companies like Kioti or maybe others should go after in order to make, say, orchard production more efficient or automated?
Couple of things. One is that to make it fully automatic, it's not just hardware. Definitely software has to be combined. So meaning that more data can give us better output. But then still some, especially farmers, is reluctant to share their data. So without good data, we cannot provide any good solution. So this was a big problem for Caterpillar and then John Deere back there. So they spent more than a decade to collect data, and then they got agreement from customers. So some customer experienced the benefit, they're willing to share. But then some customer didn't feel the experience, they didn't feel any efficiency improvement, and they're hesitant to share their stuff. So my ultimate end game goal is that if farmers can share their experience, then it'll be plus win-win for both sides. So that's why we work on-device AI tool and also off-device. Off-device means that we just collect all the data taken from our machine and from farmers, and then cloud, and we can create something, some model. But then also by itself on device itself. So while this machine kind of move on, then they can collect all the data on site and create some immediate solution for the farmers. We just go to track for that. So again, this software and AI-driven algorithm is pretty key for the future success, I believe.
In our interactions with farmers, and of course every farmer is different, but many who are of an older generation are excited about the opportunity of these technologies because it will maybe enable their children to get excited about farming and to stay on the farm.
Right.
And so, these high-tech machines are really that providing that opportunity for them.
Right. So I think personally my first target market is sprayer, meaning that those like fertilizer, those sprayer things may not be good for human. So if there's any possible danger for human beings, then I want to use robot instead. But then difficult part is that the size of the tank is always a problem. So if I have 10 acre, 100 acre, the size of tank will be a problem. So it's too big, and the machine itself has to be bigger, which is not good. If it's small, then the robot has to come back and forth too many times. So
yeah. I mean, that's a really interesting point about whether these smaller machines could still do the job they need to do. I guess the advantage of an autonomous machine, you don't need to be there in it all day.
Right.
It could work even 24/7 potentially. I guess there's also maybe innovations that could be made in the area of, say, formulation technology to make more concentrated products which wouldn't need those large spray tanks.
Right.
So I think of it a little bit like the inkjet printers, that we have, where you've seen that technology evolve a lot over the last few years.
Yes.
So I'm hoping for your sake, but also for farmers and for ours, that we see those types of innovations where we can move to these different types of machines.
Yes.
So thanks so much, YJ. That was fantastic. Really inspiring to hear about all these innovations. And really can't wait to see how your company evolves, but also this whole area of smart tech solutions, and hopefully leading to great solutions for farmers for the future.
AgTech 360 shares relevant news and breakthroughs with audiences across the globe. Stay connected and join the conversation by following NCPSI on social media.